Hello baby boys and welcome to Creusa Sims. My name is Creusa Darwin, I'm from Strangetown and this is Sims with Disabilities. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it at this point that The Sims is probably the most popular and well-known game of history. That alone makes a lot, and when I say a lot, I mean it, of different types of people know, play and love this franchise. Also, let's not forget that this is a life simulator, so we expect some kind of realism in the game. Of course, we still want mermaids, vampires, and witches. But we also need race, gender, and sexuality representation. Actually, we need and want more than that. I think it is fair to say that it's about time we have wheelchairs, crutches, and much more. I'm talking about Sims with disabilities, cause we have Simmers like that. So let's be honest here. Each and every human being is a whole world of their own. So it is probably impossible for the game to reach every aspect of our kind, but we can do so much better. I think there is a lot of stuff when it comes down to disabilities in the game that would require more than just visuals updates. I'm talking about animations, gameplay options, and lore to justify it. I don't think we are going to get it in The Sims 4, but The Sims 5 is just around the corner, so let's cross our fingers. You know, if you don't live with a disability, then you may be wondering what is the point of including this in the game. Well, it is not hard to understand it, honestly. Mostly people can feel represented, see and even make themselves in the game, while some can't. A very dear friend of mine is a congenital LBE, left below elbow amputee, due to a birth defect. I want to make a scene of her that properly reflects her real self. This is a forum post from 2008, so people wanted to represent either themselves or other people with disabilities since that time. This is not something new at all. To understand it a little bit better, let's go back all the way to 2014. This is not The Sims, but it's a game somewhat similar to the one and only. We are talking about Tomodachi Life. Instead of Sims, we had the Miis as our playable characters, and everybody was shocked, to say the least, when they announced that you could have a relationship, get married, and even have babies in this game, but not if you're gay. The lack of LGBT representation in this game was a deal breaker for so many people around the world, you know, as it should. I found a blog post from 2006. This is from just 2 years after the release of Sims 2, and it is from someone who lives with a disability. It reads, "I've been wondering why there couldn't be an expansion pack for Sims with disabilities. The expansion packs are great at adding on little details and could include ramps, guide dogs, and the ability to create Sims with disabilities. Not only would this teach kids about inclusiveness, it would be more realistic." I mean, I couldn't say better myself. Well, 17 years went by after this was published, and unfortunately we didn't get a lot better. Anyway, this video is actually about how to represent and play with Sims with disabilities, mostly in The Sims 2 cause that's my favorite, but I'll be talking about some custom content for Sims 4 as well, and not only that, but also about options that are already in your game. So how do you play with Sims with disabilities in Sims 2 anyway? Well, of course, you would have to download CC. TS2 was first released in 2004, so of course representation wasn't a big thing back then. And that doesn't make the game sucks, you know, it was just something not very talked about. But now we are in 2023, so if you still play the game like myself and want to try this, here is some of the coolest related CC that I found. Wheelchair by Windkeeper. This mod of course adds a wheelchair to your game, but unfortunately it won't really do anything. Keep in mind this is from 2005, okay? I guess this could be very useful for storytelling though, so I 100% would use it. The same creator had another version of this in 2013, the modern wheelchair. It looks so good and it works in the same way. There is also this cool version, the Rideable Wheelchair by Rebecca. This one will move your sim around, that's true, but it is, a little glitchy as you guys can tell. Amputee Below Knee by Bloom. This CC adds an outfit to your game that will display as a amputee sim. There is also this beautiful prosthetic that you can wear in the glasses section. Blind Eyes Overlay by Zephyr Step. This overlay will give your sim the look of blind eyes. It can be found in the full face makeup section. Dog Finless Harness by DD Sims. This adds an outfit for service dogs that can guide or help your blind sims. Children with Down Syndrome by GMT Moon. This one adds 3 sims to your game with Down syndrome: Sasha, Kelly, and Bobby. Hear Every Moment by Two Fingers Whiskey. Hearing aids for sims. Crutch by Creusa Sims. This adds a walking cane to your game. Sliders by Digital Angels. DCC adds a new slider to your created sim, making it possible to close a sim's eye permanently. This can be used to represent a sim who either was born without an eye or lost it due to an event throughout their life. And I actually did it in Gray Skies Micah's Hood for Sims 2. Meet Juan Carlos Bracho. TS2 is around for many years now, so of course it must have probably way more custom contents related out there that I was not able to cover in this video. But there is some other ways to represent sims with disabilities in this game, such as the cheat stretch skeleton value. Instead of value, pick a number, 1 being the standard height. This way you can set up the height of your sims, and this can be used for represent sims with nanism or gigantism. Well, of course, you can always download the height mod by the amazing Lazy Duchess, cause that will fix some glitches around this cheat, and also the mod itself is just amazing for many other reasons. Now to the moment some of you were expecting. Let's talk about Sims 4. Sims 4 actually had an update to include features related to disabilities. The medical wearables category in Create a Sim is pretty much dedicated to that, so this was a really cool moment of the game. We received hearing aids for sims of all ages and glucose monitor for the arms or lower abdomen for child and adult sims. This is not a lot, but at least we can expect some greater additions in The Sims 5, since, for the first time we had something like that in the game. In TS3, other sims were actually able to wear canes, so it kinda sucks that they can't in Sims 4. Now to some cool custom contents. The creator Two Finger Whiskey also runs this amazing Tumblr named Sims with Disability. Let's dig into it together. A fair reminder that The Sims 4 is our current game in the franchise, meaning that there is a lot of custom contents about pretty much anything for this game. So of course what I will be showing in this video is just, 1% of it. Walking Canes by Enika. Wooden Leg Prosthetics by Lavalier. This is not only inclusive, this is also high fashion, that's why I loved it. Hospital Wheelchair by Severinka. Just like the ones from Sims 2, it won't really move your Sims but can still be useful. Animated base game Rideable Wheelchair Vehicle by Necrodog. Now this one is actually functional, so how cool is that? I wish there was one like that for Sims 2, so if you baby boys know of any, please let me know in the comments, okay? Sunflower Lanyard by Maxis Match CC Words. If you don't know what that is, well, basically it's something that you wear to let other people know that you have a reading disability, like a mental one, for example. Crutches by Bella Sims. I guess she's my cousin, you know, I'm Creusa Sims, she's Bella Sims, so anyway. Beautiful alerts, look how nice this is looking, I love it. So I did try to cover mental disabilities as well, but the related CC that I found were custom traits, one about autism and other about schizophrenia, but sadly both of them seem to be broken. Anyway, you can try it if you want to, so links will be in the description box as usually. As mentioned before, there is more content than just that for sure, but that will be it for now, otherwise this video would be super long. One more important topic would be how EA would include disabilities in the game, and I don't mean like animations or stuff like that, but the fact that this is still a sensitive topic for so many people, and that step must be taken with a lot of care and empathy. Would this be something that a sim can develop throughout their life? Sims would be born with it, or maybe just a feature of Create a Sim? What do you boys think would be the best option? Honestly, I don't really think that I can say that I live with a disability, but I do limp because of a surgery back in 2007, so in some way I do relate to this topic. As a transgender person, I can understand how good it is to be able to represent myself and other beautiful transgender people in the game. I think that everybody deserves that, even if it is just with a custom content, even though this is not enough. Also, just a side note, even though I didn't cover Sims 3 in this video, that is pretty much the same content that I showcase here for Sims 2 and but for the Sims 3. You can Google it and you will find it. Also, for Sims 1 I wasn't able to find anything, but you can always use the bio resource to represent yourself or other people that you know. Thanks to our amazing community, it is possible to play with disabilities even if it is not something official. I do hope that I was able to help with this video, cause disabilities are not just a representation that we want and need, but also something that can be very fun to play with. That was it for now, baby boys. Hope you enjoyed the video, and every link will be in the description box as usually. XOXO, Creusa Darwin.